What is up, you guys? Today's video, I'm going to be doing something a little different here. I got the idea from Disney Food Blog. If you guys want to check out their account, they always talk about things Disney. And, you know, we are movie nerd for life now, but we're still going to talk about Disney. And since I am going to Disney World this summer, I am going in July, and I intend on bringing you guys with me on that journey. I want to take my time to do a bracket ranking list of the best ride within each park, starting with Epcot. I think Epcot has one of the fewest least rides in the park, that and Animal Kingdom, of course. But I want to do attractions, so I'm going to include shows, rides, roller coasters, everything like that, except fireworks shows, of course, and like the monorail and the Skyliner. I'm not including those, sorry. Changing it up a little bit from Disney Food Blogs, but I definitely got the idea from them. So go check out their video. They do amazing videos on this, and I really like their idea. But I'm going to be doing it from my perspective, what I think is better, what rides I think are the best. So let's get into it. Starting off with round one, we're heading up to the countries of Epcot with Impressions de France and Reflections of China. Both shows to present the country of origin that they are presenting. I'm going to be honest here. I never went on both, so I necessarily can't really judge them too much, but I've seen some YouTube videos, I looked at some images. For my rankings, I'm going to basically rank them based off of enjoyment factor, appearance, the queue line, all these factor abilities, Imagineering. And when it comes to the shows, obviously there's not really a wait time, but the enjoyment factor, and I think out of these two shows, I mean, they're both for me just okay shows. I mean, I personally never went to them, but looking at them, I'm like, okay, there's nothing really too specific about them. But if I was to pick one, I'm probably going to go to Impressions de France, because I do know a little bit of French. So Impressions de France is moving on in the round. Next up, we're still heading up into those countries. We're going with the American Adventure versus the Beauty and the Beast show, where it shows LeFou, his perspective throughout Beauty and the Beast. Now, I have been on Beauty and the Beast, that show with the LeFou. I have not been in an American Adventure. So with this, Beauty and the Beast is going to continue on because I have actually went on that. And I actually thought that was a very cute show. I mean, I would probably never do it again, so don't expect it to go too far into this game. But it's actually a very enjoyable show. It presents a lot of like factors why LeFou was always quiet with Gaston, saying like, hey, why do we gotta chase Belle? Like, she's not really that important. But because in the backs, behind the scenes, LeFou was actually trying to get Belle and Beast together. So that is the end of round one. Now we're going into round two, presenting the big dogs of the competition, getting all the rides in here. So without further ado, let's get into it. Impressions de France versus the Canada show, which used to be O Canada, which I liked. I went to that one before when it was O Canada with Martin Short. Now I'm not quite sure what it is. Again, saw some reviews, saw some videos, and I think just because I like Canada a little bit more, because Gold Maple Leafs, even though they are losing significantly to the Panthers, and by the time this comes out, they can either win or lose the series, who knows. But I'm going with Canada, the Canada show. Sorry, Impressions de France, you still got your representation in here with Ratatouille and the Beauty and the Beast show. But as of right now, I'm going with the Canada show. Next up, we had a show with the sea and a show within time. We're going with Spaceship Earth versus Turtle Talk with Crush. These two attractions are extremely different. One is the center point of the park in Spaceship Earth, the big Epcot ball. And then the other one, we're talking to Crush, and he's a very chill guy. Some of the interactions are very funny, and I think that's where this is going to interact with. When it comes to Turtle Talk with Crush, it depends on the audience interaction. This show can either be very fun, very boring, and I think it centers around kids mainly. If you're not with a kid in your group, you're probably not going to have fun because the adults and usually older kids like my age, obviously, I'm 19 years old, guys, so I'm obviously going to have to stand in the back. I'm not going to be able to sit on the floor with the kids. Crush doesn't really talk to the older people in the back. He talks to the kids, so it's fun for that aspect, but for the whole family, I think you can sit this one out. So I'm going to go with Spaceship Earth. And Spaceship Earth is really fun. It has that interactive element where you can pick your future, pick where you want to live, where you're from, all that. And I think the ending's really cool going on to the outside. The queue is very fast. Usually this ride never gets above a 30-minute wait unless it's on an extremely busy day. Spaceship Earth's moving on. Next up, we got two classics in here. The Imagination of Figment, or Figment's the ride Figment, basically. Journey into Imagination with Figment versus Living with the Land. I know both of these are just iconic landmarks within Epcot, and I know my choice is going to be very controversial with you guys. My choice is going to be Figment. I think Figment, the Journey into Imagination with Figment, is just breathtaking. It's very fun. I know it's not as iconic as maybe it was when it first opened up in the 80s. And I know a lot of people like that in the 80s. And I know a lot of people are mad that it got changed. Or the 90s, whenever it was. Before I was born. The one I grew up with, though, is... I love the queue line. It has Flubber in there. I love seeing Robin Williams all the time in there. And I just think it's very fun. It's got that song that sticks in my head. It's got that scary, scary moon. And I think the exit is really fun, meeting Wreck-It Ralph or Figment. And just that whole area of imagination is very fun. Now, I know Living with the Land, again, Living with the Land is very cool too. I actually really like Living with the Land, and I like eating at Garden Grill and seeing the boats always pass through and seeing that perfect house that I always want to go into. But I just gotta give it to Figment, man. I think Figment is such an iconic character, and the ride's so cool, and it's not an IP ride. It's not an IP character within the ride. It is a character that's made for the ride, and I think that creativity is going to make it move on. Next up, we got Soarin' versus Frozen Ever After. If you know me, you know what my choice is, obviously. I like Frozen. I think Frozen is a very good movie, and I went on to this ride once. Frozen Ever After. I went on it once. And it broke down multiple times. The first time I went, I tried to get onto it. Then I went on it again. I waited 50 minutes, went on it. And it's a great boat ride. It's fun for the family. But, man, that wait was so excruciating long, hot. You're shoulder to shoulder with people. Yes, it's fun seeing all like the Norwegian fun facts and stuff, and going through Norway's community within here. Like I forget what Arendelle, I think they're from. Yeah, Arendelle. So that's really cool. But the ride itself is fun, but it's just basically in like, let's say 30 years, it's gonna be the same as Under the Sea with Little Mermaid. It's just a boat ride that follows the events of Frozen, which is fun, and I think the reverse, when she says let it go and it goes backwards, is really cool. But nothing beats going over every single country and then seeing the Epcot ball in Soarin', the guy saying Soarin' the Tower, and it's Cusco. It's so breathtaking, smelling all the fresh scents of Africa, seeing the feet above you. It doesn't feel like Epcot unless I go on Soarin'. Next up, we got Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind versus Mission Space. Both missions that take place in space. One's gonna make you go dizzy, and the other one's gonna spin you around. So both of these are very intense rides within Epcot. And I think Mission Space, it has two. It has one that's more intense, less intense. I went on it when I was 10, and I threw up. True story. So clearly the winner is going to be Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy is such a cool ride, bro. Going in that queue line, I mean, I haven't been on there since it was the virtual queue, so I'm going to go on it this year, see how the line is normally. But when I was on the virtual queue, it was so cool, like the line, seeing all the cool artifacts everywhere of Xandar. The fact this is a pavilion, it still fits the Epcot vibe where it's a pavilion on Xandar. You see Star-Lord's been to Epcot before, obviously when all the stuff was there, like Captain EO and stuff, Horizons. I just really think it's fun, and I think the Imagineering aspect of the change in scenery, seeing the Celestial grab everything, and the fact it's the only Marvel ride project within Disney World. It's moving on. We got two hitters in here that I truly love, both of these rides. We got Grand Fiesta Tour versus the Nemo with Friends ride. Both of these rides, man, I think Finding Nemo, alright, first off, I want to talk about the movies. Grand Fiesta Tour, the Three Caballeros, if that's how you pronounce it. I saw it the other day. I thought it was just mid. I thought the movie itself isn't great, but I definitely love Finding Nemo. I thought Grand Fiesta Tour itself, going within the pavilion, going in the line, which there's no wait, it's always a 5-minute wait. Going through Mexico, then looking for Donald, it has that feel of it's a small world, but also it's more fun. You have the song of that they sing at the end of the movie, but it's different. It's not like It's a Small World. It's more fun, and it beats the heat, and it's actually just a very nice, relaxing ride that I like to take to rest my feet off. But there's something about Nemo, man, that going in that queue line, seeing like all the animatronics and the birds, and then you're actually seeing real fish when following the story, and then it has the music and the soundtrack that it does from the musical over there in Animal Kingdom. With all these factors put in together, I have no choice but to go with Nemo. Seeing the exit, going through the aquarium, getting a picture with Bruce inside his mouth. It's honestly just amazing. I love it. I love seeing the actual fish going into the shell. Even the queue line going undersea slowly and slowly. It's a heater. We got Test Track versus Ratatouille. Both kind of newish rides. Test Track, it's on its third alliteration. I'm going with Test Track that we had previously. But obviously it's going to be changed, so we'll see how that is. It's opening up this summer. Hopefully it opens up by the time I get to go to Disney World. I doubt it, but I'm going based off of the Tron version, Test Track 2 versus Ratatouille. Guys, I love Ratatouille. Favorite Pixar movie of all time. I am yet to be on that ride. I am ecstatic to go on it, but I have to go Test Track. Test Track's so good, man. It's one of my favorites. It's the fastest ride within Disney World, actually. Going, I believe, just under 60 miles per hour. You make your ride, you make your car, you're racing your family, you're racing other people's designing your car. So cool. And I love Tron growing up, and this felt like Tron. It feels like Tron, even though we have Tron now in Magic Kingdom. That's why they're changing it, of course. It's a great ride going outside. Now I will say the weather does permit it. When it gets lightning out, you can't ride it, which sucks. But I gotta give it to Test Track, man. It's so cool. Last game of round 2, we got the Pixar Shorts Film Festival versus Beauty and the Beast. The Pixar Shorts are actually a very cute show. It shows 3 individual Pixar shorts, no, actually 2 and then 1 Disney short, which are very fun. It beats the heat. You got your 3D glasses, and it's a very short wait. You get to usually meet Sorcerer Mickey in there, and then you get to experience it in 4D. Sometimes there's water that sprays at you. Very fun, and it kind of reminds me of It's Tough to Be a Bug, R.I.P. I'm gonna miss Tough to Be a Bug. But this show's very cool, and I gotta say, I think it's better than the Beauty and the Beast show, so it advances on. The Beauty and the Beast show's fun and cute, but it's a very small theater. This one's very large, very impactful. Not too many people go there, because I think it was the Captain EO at one point, but I actually have a great time with it, and I love it. I just wish that they changed up the Pixar shorts, so don't think it's going too far, because they don't change up the Pixar shorts too much. But if they did, definitely would move on. Advancing to round 3. We got the Canada show versus Spaceship Earth. I'm going to make this quick and easy for you guys. It's Spaceship Earth all the way. We got Soarin' versus Figment. This is really tough. I love both of these rides, like I said. I think the queue line is definitely better within Figment. I think the actual ride itself is better within Soarin'. They both have those atmospheres where you can smell and have the senses. However, one you smell a very nice tropical breeze, and the other one you smell a skunk. So yeah, interesting. One of these has a very fun character. The other one, it's more of an experience, and I think that's what outweighs it today. So I'm going Soarin'. I think the experience of Soarin' beats out the experience of Figment. And like I said, it wouldn't feel like Epcot without riding Soarin'. Next, we got Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind versus the Nemo ride, Nemo and Friends. Both of these rides feature IP characters, one being Nemo and one being Guardians of the Galaxy. One is, I think, one of the best roller coasters I've ever been on, and the other one is a great dark ride that experiences real fish, songs that are amazing, the amazing soundtrack. But with that amazing soundtrack within the Nemo ride, you got an amazing soundtrack on Guardians of the Galaxy that always switches. You never know what you're gonna get, and I think that's what's really fun about it. You never know what song you're gonna get. And I think there's an option of like 5 songs. And I love how at the exit of the ride, they play a few songs which could have been on the ride, but they didn't make the cut. And with this information, I'm going Guardians of the Galaxy. Next up, we got Test Track versus the Pixar Shorts Film Festival. Like I said, don't expect Pixar Shorts to move on too long. It's going to Test Track. Even though Test Track, again, we don't know what the third alteration is going to look like. It's going to be the same ride, though, I believe. Just different themes. I'm going with Test Track. All right, we got moved on to the semifinals. We got 4 rides, attractions left. Starting off with Spaceship Earth versus Soarin'. These are both probably the classics within Epcot. Spaceship Earth and Soarin', both rides that just feel like an Epcot ride. Both of the probably the most informative rides left within Spaceship or within Epcot. And I think one of them obviously takes place within the actual Epcot icon, which not too many rides do, not too many places do. I think that it's really only that and Tower of Terror. You can't go in, well, you used to be able to go into the Tree of Life. It was tough to be a bug. And there's no rides within the castle. So Spaceship Earth is just iconic. Soarin', on the other hand, it's so amazing. It goes through every country. You're actually flying in the air, even though it is that blue dome. The only thing is, I will say, Soarin', the seats, if you're sitting at the bottom row, it's not really that fun. You got feet in front of you. Spaceship Earth, it could break down. It could get really hot in there. But I think coming down to the slim pickings, I gotta go with Spaceship Earth. The queue line is outside, but Soarin's queue line is extremely long. And both of these have very iconic lines, like, thank the Phoenicians, they invented them, and Soarin' the Tower.
Tower, we are ready for takeoff.
It's a very tough race, but I'm going with Spaceship Earth. Next, we got Test Track versus Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. Both intense rides here, two fast rides. I think this is a very challenging setup here, but with just the Imagineering and the abilities that this ride can work like a Haunted Mansion ride and be a roller coaster, I gotta go Guardians of the Galaxy. It's the only Marvel ride within Disney World, and it rotates 360 degrees to give you an iconic scene and perspective of each scene going within the ride. It's going Guardians. Moving on to the finals now, we got Guardians of the Galaxy versus Spaceship Earth. Newest versus one of the oldest. This is tough. One ride takes place within the icon. The other takes place within a large blue building, one of the largest indoor coasters of all time. Hard, I've said what their qualities are, and I think thinking about it, it's got to go to Guardians. It's one of the best rides I've ever been on. Now, it's not as good as the Velocicoaster over there in Universal Studios, but in Epcot, I will say, if I didn't get onto Guardians of the Galaxy, I would still feel the Epcot vibe going on. If I didn't get onto Spaceship Earth or Soarin', I would be devastated. I'd be like, dang, that sucks. It feels like Epcot. But as far as the best attraction, A-tier, greatest of all time, I would wait 2 hours for it. It would be Guardians of the Galaxy. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you guys would have picked. Do you guys like this video? If you do, make sure you like it. If you really like it, make sure you subscribe. And if you want to see future videos like this, make sure you hit that bell in the description down below. Do you guys want to see future videos like this? I could do Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, and Magic. I plan on doing them, but obviously it depends on how this video does. If it doesn't do good, then I'm probably not going to make them. We'll see, though. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. Disney Nerd out. Peace. I said Disney Nerd. I can't beat the flashbacks, guys.